Hi guys, so my name is Sonia. I did Year 12 last year and part of that for English, I did The Crucible and Year of Wonders. I really like these two texts. I thought they had a lot of comparisons and a lot of really interesting kind of comparable themes. There are 9 main themes that I want to talk to you about. So one of obviously the biggest ones is fear and hysteria. That's kind of quoted as one of the Crucible's chief themes. So, in my opinion, the main key ideas for the Crucible, fear and hysteria, is that as a result of the growing tension in Salem, Miller kind of wants to depict how individuals sacrifice truth in order to protect themselves from being accused of witchcraft. A good quote for this is that, the Salemites living in fear because, open quote, no man knows when the harlot's cry will end his life, close quote. Because of this, individuals resort to diverting blame upon others to avoid being prosecuted themselves, and that's a really important theme throughout the entire text. It influences the circularity of the witchcraft accusations, and in turn it's pointing to the timeless implication regardless of the century, because Miller was writing in the American paradigm that he was, regardless of the century in which it occurs, that the sin of the public terror is that it divests man of conscience of himself, and that is a quote starting from the sin of the public terror. Another key idea is that Proctor's indecision and conflict about his fear and his morality. Through that, Miller is suggesting that fear has the capacity to challenge even the most principled individuals, resulting in inner turmoil and division of ideals. That could be used as a topic sentence because it is quite a common theme to fear and hysteria in The Crucible. Another interesting thing that would be, kind of different to talk about is the post-hoc fallacy in The Crucible. For examples of this, give the post-hoc fallacy a quick Google when you can. That's post, as in post, and then hoc, H-O-C, and then just fallacy. Examples of this is Abigail, when she says, Tituba, and that's in square brackets, Tituba makes me laugh at prayer, with which Paris responds with, she have often laughed at prayer. There's also Cheever's insistence that the presence of the needle in Elizabeth Proctor's poppet is, quote, hard proof of, quote, hell. And that's demonstrating his incapacity for logical or rational thought and his vulnerability to kind of succumb to post-hoc fallacious thinking. There's also Giles Corey, who said, then she closed her book, ... and suddenly, ... I could pray again. Mrs. Putnam is also an example of post-hoc fallacy in The Crucible, who said, my baby's always shriveled in her hands, and that's talking about Rebecca Nurse. Other important quotes about fear and hysteria in The Crucible include the witch hunt was a perverse manifestation of ... panic, as well as social disorder ... breeds ... suspicion. Now, fear and hysteria in Year of Wonders, the key ideas are kind of manifestations of fear in the community. One of the manifestations of fear is through justice. So Brooks, through this, Brooks asserts that EM is like a, open quote, wounded animal, ... with its fear so great that it would lash out at anyone, close quote, and that the town has descended into barbarism in dealing with wrongdoers. This can be seen through Brand and Robert when they took Afra's punishment into their own hands, and her consequent kind of insanity and hysteria indicate that leaving individuals to mete out justice results in kind of the possibility of grave injustices. The ramifications of Brand and Robert's inhumane actions result in the deaths of many, including Faith, Eleanor, and Afra herself, through which Brooks asserts that a fair legal system needs to be in place with all the communities to maintain order and to prevent injustices and excessive punishments. So that's one manifestation of fear in the community, which is justice. Another one is herd mentality and scapegoating. There's 3 examples for this. So the first is the collective decision of several villages, including the Gordons, the Hamiltons, and the Highfields, just for example, to target the Gaudis, which is elucidating kind of how individuals seek validation for their own irrational concerns, even when it's at the expense of others. They quickly collectively conclude that it's Annis that's the witch, after having moments ago being absolutely certain that Mem was the cause of their strife. The second example of herd mentality and scapegoating was when Mary Hadfield demands of Anna, "You should be helping us here," when Anna tries to defend Mem, elucidating the social pressure to join with the accusations. The third is Lib Hancock, who was revealed to having been Anna's close friend at the beginning of the novel, yet Brooks demonstrates the powerful effects of panic and terror as she rapidly alters her behaviour. This is through when Lib is described as appearing glazed and strange, as a quote, in her outburst of behaviour. Through description of Lib appearing this way, Brooks reveals how fear may actively change one's behaviour as it causes Lib to regard Anna with hatred, despite having once been close. Other important quotes for Year of Wonders includes how easy it is for the, quote, "widow to be turned witched in the common mind," end quote, as well as, quote, "the madness is spreading as fast as the disease among us," end quote. So they're really some key points for fear and hysteria in the Crucible and Year of Wonders. I hope that helps you have a better inkling at what's really going on. You could talk about post-hoc fallacy, Proctor, and how fear challenges individuals, as well as, just the complete social disarray that occurs because of it. And then Year of Wonders, you can talk about how fear manifests through justice, through herd mentality and scapegoating. And yeah, so I hope you guys feel a little bit more confident on fear and hysteria in those two texts.